Spunnanti divyaistavai Vedeshangapadakramopanisadai Gayanti yam samagaha Dhyanavastita tadgatena manasa Syanti yam Santam navidusura survana Devaya tasmai namah. Ashrama 15 anniversary. Anudvegakaram vakyam Satyam priyahitam chayat Swadhyayabhyasanam chaive Bhangmayam tapa uchyate Mana prasada saumyatvam Maunam atma vinigraha Bhava sansudhirityetat Tapo manasamuchyate Shraddhaya paraya taptam Tapastatrividham naraihi Aphalakankshi viryuktaihi Satvikam parichakshate Satkaramana pujartham Tapodambhena chaivayat Kriyate tadiha proktam Rajasam chalamadhruvam Mudagrahenatmano yat Pidaya kriyate tapah Parasyosadanartham va Tattamasamudarutam. Right. The most important thing is this, really this tapas. Call it insight, call it practice, penitence, sort of penance, call it conscious observation, do whatever you like. These three are the real hallmark of wisdom. As somewhere in the Upanishad it comes, Yasya Jnanamayam Tapaha. For whom Jnanamaya Tapaha, Jnana, this knowledge, the tapas is always with the Jnana, the knowledge of the Absolute. Aham Brahmasmi, Prajnanam Brahma, is nothing other than the consciousness, nothing other than Ishvara. And because of that type of continuous awareness, Mana Saumyatva, Mana Prasada is something natural. Because in this mind, even though there are thousands of impressions like anybody else, it doesn't disturb it. Like Shankara says in Vivek Chudamani, Nistaranga Jalarasi Nischalam, the mind of the wise, contemplative one, like Nistaranga Jalarasi Nischalam, a vast ocean free from waves, Nistaranga. So even when there are waves, From the standpoint of the water you look, there is nothing called a wave. This is where the necessity comes. Then you sit down and see for yourself again and again by contemplation that even though there are thousands of thoughts, impressions, memories, continuously floating by, passing by, appearing, disappearing, yet you are the steadiness, like the vast space in which millions of little clouds can be floating by, but the space remains unaffected. Same way also. So that is the source, that the greatest tapas, jnanamaya tapas. And this is manasas tapa uchyate, where manaprasada, saumyatvam, where there is saumanasyam, because of which you see that calmness, not only inside there is calmness, in the calm exterior also. The presence of such a person will not invoke unnecessary restlessness. There are certain times you are with a person, you be with them, you talk with them, you are also get gravitated by or pulled by that type of restlessness, misery, pain, anxiety. There are some other people, you just stay with them, you feel very peaceful because they themselves are not moving. It's like looking at a mountain, achala. And the mountain is so steady and restful. When you look at it, you also remain like that. You are rising, you look at the rising sun, very slow and steady. You observe your breathing. The breathing is very slow, naturally mind also slows down. Same thing, a person who is always at restful within himself doesn't invoke any sense of restlessness. And therefore, and such a person because Atma Vinigraha, total Manonirodha Sarvatah, Samanya Rupa. From every direction, whatever thought comes up, that thought doesn't push him, pull him. He remains the same. Like morning I was giving the example. A huge buffet spread. The shop is there with million things, but objects don't drag you. You go and pick up your things. Same thing also mind. So when you do that, such a person ever unaffected by the thought. So if he chooses to express any particular thought into action, either at the level of the speech, if you want to speak his thought out, or you want to act physically, movement of the limbs, both actions are very conscious actions. That is why you don't repent for what you say, nor you repent for what you do. And whatever action it will do, naturally such a person will speak anudvegakaram bhakyam, the words that will never hurt himself or hurt anybody. Because you cannot, listen friends, if you feel hurt, you cannot escape hurting others. And if unconsciously you hate or hurt others, you cannot escape feeling hurt later on. It's a very simple standpoint. If you hurt somebody, you cannot escape feeling hurt later on. And in case you feel hurt, you cannot escape hurting people, because your feeling of hurt will prevent you from being kind, nice. So, see for yourself. So, such a person, when he is consciously expressing his thought, anudvegakaram vakyam, satyam, priyam, hitam. So, whatever he speaks, it will be truth, good for himself, good for others. Hitam is a blessing for everybody. And in order to do that, swadhyaya abhyasanam chaiva, swadhyaya abhyasanam. Swadhyaya, self-study, meaning continuously observing your mind, your speech, your action. And this is abhyas. This is something, please appreciate, this is something, your living becomes a teaching. So much emphasis is given on that. And such a man, what type of action he'll do? Natural gratitude to everybody. Guru Pragya Pujana, worshipping the respected one, because there is a gratitude to the creation. Father, mother, elders, even a child, if anybody who helps him out in life, there is a gratitude. And such a person also, Brahmacharya Ahimsa, Saucham, Arjavam, straightforward, and no more lost in the sense-subject world. At no time Ahimsa doesn't hurt himself, nor he hurts anybody else. Just please do not listen to it as a series of talks or discussions or discourses, but something which you see for yourself again and again. So you observe for the whole day for yourself how many of your thoughts you have consciously acted upon. And the taste of your conscious action is, the taste of your conscious expression of your thought into action or speech is, you don't repent for what you have said, you don't repent for what you have done, neither you later on to withdraw that statement or withdraw that action. Such a person, Saumya, mind is absolute. That is why in Upanishadic study, Sadeva Saumya idamagrasit ekameva advitiya brahma. That is very in the Father, I think it comes in Chandogya Upanishad. He says Sadeva Saumya, He Saumya. He calls him Saumya. Sadeva idamagrasit ekameva advitiya brahma. There is only one without a second. Only one thing was existing. So he addresses the student, Saumya, think of it. So, observe for yourself your actions, your thoughts, your speeches, how conscious you are in it. Does it hurt yourself, hurt others? It's something very, I can't really talk about much. What else can I say? Think for yourself. Very, very important. And each individual is like that. There can be a million people, there will be no problem. Each one is conscious. The trouble comes if there is one bad apple, it becomes terrible. Why? Because one person tells a lie. Then suddenly everything starts getting goofed up. You smile, but there is jealousy in it. You speak something, but there is anger behind it. There is hatred, manipulation. Then it starts creating a little problem because you can't believe the person anymore. That is why a person you must see for yourself how you are acting, because please understand, it is, you like it or not, you take it or not, you see it or not. At no time, please try ever to understand with what motive the other person is working. You shall never understand. But you can understand your motive. You can understand your wisdom or your foolishness. You shall never understand whether the other person is wise or stupid. That is why you see your wisdom. Does anything touch me? Never. It just doesn't matter thereafter somebody praises you or somebody hates you. Sukhe dukhe same krutva lava lavo jaya jayo. Nindantu, whether the whole people stuvantu va nindantu va nindastuti, tulya nindastuti maunam, santushta yeno kenachit. Tulya nindastutir mauni, santushta yena kenachit. That is the Bhagavan says in Gita. Tulya nindastuti. Some people censure you, some people praise you. Only an idiot will feel great when some people praise him. Why? Because he knows he is not that praiseworthy. And they cannot take if somebody points out a mistake, because ninda, because he doesn't like it. The wise person, when the person is aware of himself, people praise him, he doesn't feel flattered, because Long before other people recognize certain great qualities in him, he has already recognized it. Thank you. If somebody hate him, again he knows, is it true? Do I have these tendencies? No, this person doesn't know. Forget it. Or do I have it? Yes. He talks the right thing. I am an idiot. Are you getting that point, please? Both the way to live. Ninda, Atma Sanstuti. Somebody looks down upon you, hates you. Somebody praises you, makes no difference. Who feels flattered? Only idiots feels flattered. Because he is not aware of his own achievements, own glory, own accomplishments. So when the other person, tells him something, even though he doesn't have it, he feels very flattered because other person is talking about it. He believes in other people's appreciation than his own appreciation of himself. Please. Whereas, if you are aware of your strength and your weakness, nobody can flatter you, nobody can flatten you. When they point out your weakness, you recognize your weakness long before others do it. Therefore, this is ultimate tapas, jnanamaya tapas, manastapa. So, have these three things like a talisman. In your room, you write down these three tapas. Sarira, Vak, Manas. Day in and day out. Days after days, night after night. Moments after moments until you breathe your last. This is the mantra. Please, you can never ever afford to forget being awareful at the level of the thought itself. Okay? Having told this general principle, now he says, it doesn't matter whether a believer in God or non-believer in God. Why people are so, please understand, just because you are a believer in God, you don't get a crown on your head. Just because somebody is non-believer in God, he is not an idiot. The person may be more sensitive. You see a sadhu in this cloth getting drunk. 3-piece suit, the fellow is very normal. Whom shall you respect? A religious man giving a discourse, smoking, drinking, snuffing, eating, doing nonsense. And another person may not be anywhere near coming to a temple or a discourse, but very sensitive person. Whom shall you respect? Think of it. The worst trouble of this cloth is, understand, it's a curse and a blessing. A blessing because if you are willing to change, it prevents you from indulging. It's a curse because when you are unwilling to change and you do the same nonsense in this cloth. Are you getting that? It's a huge protection and it's a huge curse. Just think of it. Withdraw from everything, come to an ashram to study. Big blessing. Why? Because there is no other responsibilities, entire time is for study and contemplation. Nobody can get a better chance in life. It's a huge course because nothing else to do. Therefore, every nonsense you can do here. Just eat and be fat. Sleep and say that is meditation. Absolutely laziness. All these things. That is why Upanishad tells, Kshurasya dhara durata nishitteya durgama pathastat kavado. Nishita diruttaya. This is something durgama pathastat kavayo vadanti. This is, they call it, that this path is as sharp as the razor's edge. It can be a blessing, it can be a curse. So, look out for yourself, please. So these three things, amazing, I don't know. I hope you think it over, and I will say, you Brahmacharis, you write down one idea on these three things. You please write. Not what I said. in your life how far it is true. Make a self-analysis. Very, very important. Do you speak anudvega karam vakyam? Do you have a sense of respect, a gratitude for the whole universe? Are you a person who is very conscious at the level of the thought itself? Remember that example. Watch out where you are sleeping, not where you are falling. And the sleep begins at the level of the thought. That is why wrong thought when it is given to you, you are destroyed. You understand the power of wrong thought which can destroy you. People in the name of religion, how many wrong thoughts? If I can see the light, see the star, dance, sing, dance, hug, do this, everything is fine. You don't know how to control, handle your emotions and other thoughts. Life becomes pretentious, absolutely pretentious. Understand? See, recently something happened, no, one big person who was very popular in religious field was destroyed. We were analyzing, somebody friend has asked me, how does it happen? Very simple, the boy is young, let's say 30, 35-year-old. The person is 30, 35-year-old, let us say. Just think. Usually that time the whole problem comes when you are 25, 30, and especially what happens, the media picks you up and throws you up. Because the one gentleman came today, was telling, there is one particular newspaper or a media which pushes up. There are some newspaper like that. So they take a fancy on somebody, they push him up. Him or her, it just doesn't matter, they push them up. Then what happens? When you become, more and more people read about you, know about you, more and more people come. So then you start getting too much attention and many more things also. It's like a child getting toys. And the child gets lost in the toys. The child gets lost in the toys, then the same person, those who had put him up, the same person pull them down. Somewhere you can see unconsciously, the media destroyed, the world destroyed, because the person is not aware of himself. Ultimately, even though person is responsible, that person you shall consider him responsible who is aware of his own nature. The person who is not aware of himself, he can very well lose himself in many things in life. That is why taking this cloth, sometimes what happens is when people start respecting you, people start providing you things, people start giving you things, they start believing you. And then when you ask for certain things, they come and give it to you also. And what you are asking, you can ask for anything. One person was there, I am telling you today, there was a person one person was taken sannyas. The Swamiji, the Guru who gave the sannyas, is a true incident. I will not tell name of any kind, it's an absolute truth. He has taken sannyas where the person was smoking all the time. So the Guru that day gave him the one kamandalu also and told him, don't smoke now on. At least today sannyas, you are giving everything, this is nothing big, give up. Yes. You believe me. Second day I saw inside that kamandalu cigarette. Perversion can go to any extent. You don't respect your word to your own Guru. I don't know how they live their life. Person should disappear. You tell that, I will never. And that second, I couldn't believe it. Because he himself had come and told me. I didn't know that. He himself had told me, Swamiji told me to do this. I said, very good. Abba, at last you are now free, no? Yes. Second day. And I didn't have the heart to tell him. Because why? Even an ordinary person, ignorant person, you can talk. To a person who knows everything, what can you tell? Just think. It's a beautiful life, if you know how to use it. It's a curse if if you don't understand or if you don't use it. Therefore, you look at yourself, manaprasada, saumyatvam. Because if your mind itself is restless, miserable, full of conflict, how are you going to give a helping hand to somebody? You are as much drowning as the other person is drowning. What helping hand can you give? The other person's problem is his brother has a Mercedes which he doesn't have. Your problem is your friend has got more disciples than you. Just think. He has a greater pressure in ashram, or I have a smaller ashram, or he has got more countries and more, I have my more. It's nonsense. Sense of satisfaction. Manasicha paritushte. Ko dhani, ko daridra. Remember that language. Manasicha paritushte. When you are happy, satisfied. Ko dhani, ko daridra. Who is rich, who is poor? Who is famous, who is not famous? Who is glorious, who is not glorious? Who is big, who is small? It makes no difference to you anymore. Why? Manasicha paritushte. I am happy with myself. Therefore, I have no sense of comparison. You shall feel inferior if you compare. If you feel superior if you are compare. Who you are is an incomparable existence. At the level of this self, there is no comparison. Incomparable. Always happy, contented with myself. Physically, of course, there will be comparison. You can't escape it. Because I am younger, somebody is older. Somebody is young, older, I am younger. Somebody is younger, I am older. The body, different types of appearances. A mind, different types of accomplishments, different types of knowledge. That shall be comparison. Each one different kinds. But I function from the standpoint of the incomparable dimension, where everybody is one and the same. I am not superior, inferior, more divine, less divine, more holy, less holy. Everything is beautiful. That is why Saumya. No sense of disturbance. Are you getting that point? No sense of ups and downs, because everybody is same. And physical, when you look at the roles, of course there will be variations. Somebody can dance, somebody can sing, somebody can cook, somebody can do the gardening, somebody can manage, somebody can climb the wall, somebody can... So who is better? That is why, even just think of it, even the small little pace, we are all working, so we are staying together. Who is most important? Nobody. In each person's place, each person is important. The one who is watering the plant, don't say it's unimportant. If he goes away only, you will understand his importance. Person is cooking, person is standing at the gate, person is worshipping the deity in the temple, the person who is studying, the person who is teaching, the person in the office, the person in the market, the person in the... where? Looking at the trees or looking at the whole thing, it makes no difference. Everybody is beautiful. Why? Because essentially each one of one and the same. Others, each one has their own place. That's a comparable thing. That there will be bigger or smaller. But that doesn't affect, because I discover the incomparable existence. The person, nobody is smaller or bigger. Roles are small or big. Are you getting that? Roles are only small or big. But who we are is one and the same. That is why Saumyatvam Manaprasada. If you have a sense of superiority, think. If you have a sense of superiority, you shall be looking for everybody putting garland around your neck. If you have a sense of inferiority, whatever people may say, you think that everybody is telling I am an idiot. Whatever may happen. Neither superior nor inferior. Everything is one and the same. Understand. And please see how it is. So, this is how the whole world is. And please see, those people who leave these values or leave these different types of insights, depending on how they live this life, you can classify them into three types: sattva, rajas, tamas. And who is sattvic? Shraddhaya paraya taptam tapas tat trividham naraihi aphalakankshibhir yukteihi sattvikam parichakshate. So beautiful. This trividham tapah, taptam, paraya shraddhaya, by Parasraddha, by great interest, respect. What do they do? Trividham tapam taptam. These three types of insight are practiced. What are they? Mana tapas, vak tapas, sharira tapas. Mind is soumya. They don't want to disturb. They don't want to be disturbed by the thoughts of any kind. Vak tapas. No creating any anxiety, speaking things that blesses them, blesses everybody. And physical behavior, gratitude, respect, humility, everything as it is. Why they do it? Because aphala akangshivi, without expecting any recognition from anybody, they are like that. Sattvikam parijaksha. Why are you nice? Good for me, good for all. Why do you speak so nicely? Good for me, good for all. Why do you behave such a nice way? Good for me, good for all. Finished. Sattvic person. There are some people, understand very important point here. If you become very analytical and you shall understand, yes, if I understand this absolute, I will be very conscious in my mind, my words also will be pleasant, my action will be pleasant. Understand, friends? Therefore, don't say, everybody should start with understanding. No. Have you seen your own grandfather, your grandmother, old-timers, especially old-timers, where there is a sense of respect, love, affection was there? They were people who are Deva Puja, Deva Dvija Guru Pragya Pujanam, very respectful for their father, mother, husband, wife, children, friends, very loving. Very loving. They didn't have millions to give, but they were very loving, very kind, and gentle in their speech, gentle in their behavior. Such people were naturally calm at the level of mind. Have you seen such people? So many people. If somebody will come to your mind, if you sit down and think, some people will come to your mind, those who have not studied Vedanta, they have not gone to Gurukulas, they have not gone to Upanishad studies, they have not gone into psychology, they have not gone to anything. But so decent people, very kind, very nice, never hurting anybody, so slow, so small. Very, very nice person. Here itself you think of it, from a distance you observe the boy who is managing our ashram, Ravindran, Ravi Kumar, just observe that boy, man. Little handicapped, but he's not, just goes about doing his own thing. If you tell him, fine. If you don't talk to him, fine. You recognize him, fine. Doesn't recognize. It's not that he is a wise man living that, but the disposition. He goes there, he quietly sits down. He doesn't talk to nobody, doesn't complain to anybody, anything. Whatever thing is needed by chance, if you give, it's wonderful. Don't give, wonderful. Life has been maybe harsh to him. Sometimes maybe the family didn't work out, this didn't work out, the person has come. But doesn't want to live beyond their means. Think. Whatever is needed, he is doing that. You see, as a sadhu, sometimes what happens, people try to live beyond their means. Their income is nil, but expense is high. That is where sadhus become destroyed. Income is nil. What is your production? How much you are producing? Nothing. But what should you do? Everything should be best. I should have the best pen set, best camera, best this, best telephone. I must make these things. If I go, I should have this, you should have that, I should have this. Okay, what is this? If it comes on your way, fantastic. Doesn't come on your way, doesn't matter. But when you get obsessed with these type of things, become useless. Those days, you can see grandfathers, grandmothers, those generation, simple folks. And because of that lifestyle, And they won't be talking to, hey, they may be going crazy once in a while, no problem. But most of the time they are so kind, so nice. Their presence was nice. You can go and sit down and sleep on your grandfather's lap and sleep off. Because the grandfather has no complexes. The grandmother has no complexes. Today, if you go to even to the so-called spiritual person, they are expecting, can you give something? Yes, then stay there. No, cannot give? Go. Oh. What is the rest? Think of it. So by nature, some people are so beautiful. Sattva. Sattva pradhan. By nature. They are not wise, please understand. They are not wise people. But by nature. They will not hurt anybody. Very quiet. Conflict comes, they withdraw. That is sattvic person. They are not wise man, understand. Because wise person has no such sattvic wise man, rajasic wise man and what is that, tamasic wise man. No. Wise person means he knows how to handle all the emotions, no problem. And look at the rajas, then you will know what I am talking. What is the rajasic person? How does he do? Satkara, mana, pujartham, tapo, dambhena chaiva yat, kriyate tadiyam proktam, rajasam chalam adhruvam. Here Arjuna, understand. That we shall call as the rajasic person, sattvika tapam, rajasic. What is rajasic tapam? He does something. Satkara, mana, pujartham. When the sattvic person is aphala akankshi, phala akanksha nasti, he doesn't have any expectations of recognition, any expectation of being everybody being grateful to him, recognize. No, he does because it is to be done. Yashtavyamiti, to be done, kartavyamiti, yashtavyamiti, it has to be worshipped, it has to be done, it has to be accomplished, therefore I do. What people say? I have not come here for recommendation or certificate. This is my heart's calling. I do it. Why? I love it. Sattvic. Rajasic fellow is what? Satkara, mana, pujartham. Shankara comments very nicely. What does he do? This person, he gives everybody things, the dhanam itself comes, satkara mana pujartham, so that people shall tell me, satkara, sadhukara, sadhuartham, I am sadhuayam. Everybody shall say, see how nice this man is. So therefore you show your, understand, you show your softness. You show your kindness. You in reality you are not kind, but you are showing, exhibiting your kindness. You are exhibiting your sadhuayam purusha, brahmana iti, tapasvi, idam manam. Tadartham puja pada prakshalanardam. Since he is a sadhu, he is such a great man, therefore he expects pada prakshalana, puja. Why, was the holy feet of the person. Why is he nice? So people shall recognize him as a nice person, so they will wash my feet, they will worship me, they will recognize me. This is where comes your unconscious arrogance. Because if somebody doesn't do, somebody first doesn't even wish you, Hari Om, good morning, Hari, Namaskar, something. Immediately you are very upset. The person comes and doesn't even say Om. What prevented you from wishing him? Why? What is the Namaste? Namaha te. Te tubhyam Ishwaram, Ishwaraya. I do the Namaskar to the God in you, not you. Why? Sarvadevam Namaskaram Narayanam Pratigacchati. Every Namaskar that you do, it goes to Narayana. So if you do the Namaskar to an ordinary person also, it goes to Narayana. But what do you think? I am extraordinary, that fellow is ordinary. How can I do Namaskar to him? Ayyo. That is why Rama's quality is, one quality of Rama is Purvabhasi. Purvabhasi means before somebody speaks to him, he speaks. He doesn't wait to be spoken in order to speak. But most people are like that. What? Superior. Who has to speak whom first? Oh, it's such a pain. The whole world is full of it. Whole world is full of it. I'm not telling you joke. Full of it. Especially if you go into the spiritual, so-called religious people, sadhu people, as to who should tell whom. Whose asana is bigger, whose asana is smaller. Who is followed by how many disciples. Whether it is higher or lower. Who shall be nearer to the center, who shall be farther from the center. Big thing. Understand? You know why the round table conference started? Because nobody shall be know who is superior, who is inferior. In the round table conference, where is the beginning? Lucky. Lucky. Because if you make a straight line with the center, but everywhere you can't make a round table. Whether an audience means, what do you do? Think of it. Anyway, it just doesn't matter. Look at yourself. You do it, why the person is doing it? Satkara, mana pujartham, tapaha, satkara. So, why do you do this? Very respectful to others in the presence of other people. Nice. Anudbeyakaram vakyam. The person speaks nicely. Listen, the person speaks nicely, but only to impress others. So that everybody can say, see how kind, how nice, how good behaving this person is. You know, not only religion, ordinary people also, very sophisticated behavior. Sophisticated behavior, please come in, please sit down. Oh, very rich man. Very rich man, but he will be rolling down under you, you know. Please come, please sit down. But the way they speak, you shall think, oh, yo. Another time, the person doesn't even recognize you. Why? That time, it was needed to be done so that other people see how humble he is, even though he is big. It's always phala akanksha. Always you expecting, you do that. Kriyate. You do that, and you do that, this type of tapas, what? Sometimes pretend to be peaceful, pretend to be very sweet in his speech, pretend to be very reverential in the physical behavior. But this is chalam, adhruvam. Chalam means changing. Adhruvam, no definiteness in that behavior. Sometimes good. Don't take it for granted. The person may smile, but don't take it for granted. Because just anger may just hiding behind that smile. Jealousy may be hiding behind it. Don't say that. This is Rajasic. And who is Tamasic? Mudha grahena atmana yat pidaya kriyate tapaha. Atmana hai mudha grahena. Mudha grahena means avivekena. No viveka, no discrimination. What is that aviveka? Please listen. It's like you get yourself, overeating or drunk or something like that. Just give an example. You got yourself incapacitated by eating food. Then you say, instead of telling, I'm incapable of sitting now, incapable of sitting down, now you say, I'm going to have little samadhi. Pidaya kriyate. You can't sit down. Then what do you say? I'm going to do some savasana. So you want to give a different picture. Mudha, totally deluded. Mudha graha, that is avivekena. Pidaya, tortures himself, confuses everybody else. Parasya ussadanartham. Or you do something to destroy somebody. You are very angry, you justify your anger. You hate somebody, you justify your hatred. You are really jealous and you are justifying it. See, how much can I talk about it? Can you be your own open book? I tell you, these things, nobody really, these chapters are never talked, but these are the only chapters to be talked in the public. Because this is human behavior. What does it say? I am surprised. I had read this, but when I am talking about it, please understand. Yes, Shastra Vidhi Musrujya Yajante Sadhyayan. The person has nothing to do with Shastra, nothing to do with God, but person is very nice. How do you categorize, how do you classify those people? That is the world today. And educated people have common sense, and they know when to be nice and when not to be nice. Manipulative. Educated people. What is educated people? It's the art of manipulating. Understand? Sometimes the person picks up some religious, namaskar, appa. The way he does that, namaskar, you shall feel as though, oh, there is nothing like it. This is the person, so devoted. But he, the one, will be cutting your feet, leg, your root. Understand? Just think of it. Yasya parosa udaratana, so kriyate tapaha tapa kriyate. What is that? Whatever action he does, it is pretentious. If he is kind, is nice in his word, pretentious. If he is worshipping or he is respecting somebody, pretentious. You have seen it, people. The ordinary man from the village, what do they come? When they come here, suppose they want something, oh, you are the God, you are the everything, and they fall at your feet and catch your feet. And the person takes the money and go. And after that, when you say, if by chance you remind or something somewhere, finished. Ordinary man's devotion. For other people, oh, so devoted he was working. He is, listen carefully, he is giving you a vegetable or something is seen by everybody. The love, affection, protection, and if you have given maybe 100,000 rupees or a lot of things you have given, that nobody has seen. Why? Because when you give, suppose you are a decent person, you give, you don't give it in front of everybody. But when he gives something, he gives it in front of everybody. Even if he doesn't give, you are a nice person, so you show it to everybody. See, he has brought this little thing. Everybody is now impressed. But nobody knows how much you have given or what you have done. So when the problem comes up, the person comes up and says, what? He can destroy you. Because you have been very nice. That is the tamasic bhakti. When you get it, devoted. You don't get it, you are the worst enemy. Ask yourself, Abba, your interests are protected, everybody is fine. Your interests are gone, suddenly enemy number one. Understand? Chalam adhruvam. Are you getting that? It is something continuously changing mind. That is where you can see relationships. Husband, wife, beautiful, something somewhere goes crazy. Now see each one killing each other. Children, parents, guru, shishya. Brothers, sisters, friends. What happens? Most of the people just are not aware. So, everybody has the idea as to what does it mean to be good. But somebody is good because he is good. Finished. Doesn't expect anything. Sattvic. Other person is good because he wants to manipulate. Rajasic. The person is totally useless, confused. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. He doesn't know what he is doing. He has little sense of good because nobody can escape that. So by chance he is good, But you take a little favor from a mafia, you have to give it back with your life. It's goodness. Are you getting that point? It's a goodness. You have shared a little goodness from him, but you have to give back with your life. You don't return it, you are dead. Whereas you go to a very nice, generous person, sattvic person means what? You can cheat him outright, but the fellow will say, it's all right, what can I do? There is no revenge. There is no revenge, there is no vengefulness. Cannot. Whereas a Rajasic fellow, he took away. Terrible. Why? Because terrible expectations were there. Three different minds, understand. Even the sattvic person also is not wise man. Because he may not expect anything, but there will be some type of there is no expectations whatsoever, but he may not be able to continue it for all the time, or he can't do the other side, Rajasic, Tamasic type. But the wise person means playing at all three levels, depending. A sattvic person can be manipulated, wise man cannot be manipulated without a choice. Because sattvic person is good, somebody can manipulate his goodness. Because he doesn't want to be known as bad also. Whereas the person, if you are wise man, yes, if I don't give you, you shall say I am an idiot. Yes, I am an idiot, I can't give, thank you. Very kind. Know yourself, all these things. Okay, having told this, we shall go into Dhanam. Just see that, we shall see tomorrow. Datavyamiti yadhanam diyate nupakarine deshe kale cha patre cha taddanam satvikam smrutam yattu pratyupakarartham phalamudishya va punah diyate cha pariklishtam taddanam rajasam smrutam. We shall see a little bit, and tomorrow we shall see more. Datavyamiti yaddanam diyate anubhav. So then, like a tapa, dana, different types of, yajna, tapas, dhanam, different types, sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. Now he talked about all the three types of tapas, and people who do different attitudes, sattva, raja, tamas. Now we talk about dhanam. Please see how it is. What is the dhanam? When you are giving, with what attitude you should give? Datavyamiti diyate. A person who gives, how? Datavyamiti. Datavyamiti manakrutva, that it is to be given. It is to be given, therefore I give. To whom? Listen carefully. That if you want to really underline the last word. Anupakarine. To give somebody who gives you, that is no big deal. Anupakarine, the fellow who does not help you, anupakar, the person who has not done any upakara for you. Because he deserves it, I give it. Anupakarine. Oh, he is not going to return. Don't worry. He is a person, needs it. Just like in nature. Why does the nature give? Why does the mango tree gives mangoes? Because it has the capacity to produce. Others have the need. That is the wise person. Sattvic person. Why do you give? Because I have the capacity to produce, and others have the need. The next one, we'll see that. Tomorrow we'll see that. Yattu pratyupakarartham, whereas the other person, phalam uddishyava punah. Another person, rajasic person is pratyupakarartham. Pratyupakarartham means what? Very nicely Shankara comments, you should see that. Yattu danam pratyupakarartham. Pratyupakarartham means kale tu ayam mam pratyupakarishyati iti evam kale. I am going to give something to him now. Why? Kale, in time, evam mam pratyupakarishyati. He shall do this for me. Therefore I give. That is not dhanam. You say I helped, but you invested. Are you getting that point, please? That is not dhanam. Oh, I helped so many people. You don't help. You are investing. There is a difference between, are you getting that point, please? There is a difference between giving, helping, and then investing. But just because you give, that does not mean you have a charitable disposition. That is a business transaction, like conversion. What is conversion? Conversion also a lot of giving. Huh? You give the milk powder, you give the wheat, you give the medicine, you give the education. All these things you give. For what? Not for his sake. Kale pratyupakarishati. In time, he will come to my fold. He will come to my thing. Therefore, I give it. Understand? So what happens? Please understand. In that type of giving, the person, it becomes like a wage. Listen carefully. It becomes like a wage. You have given. So the person satisfies you because you have given something to him. So you follow his religion, you follow his customs, or you follow his command for a few days. Then even you feel that you have paid for the wages, you disappear. Why? He gave me, I did few things, gone. But suppose you are a person, you gave because you gave, and you have forgotten. The fellow cannot forget for his life. He has to be grateful inside. Why? Because he has not paid anything. You did not take, are you getting that? You did not take anything from him in return. Why I gave it? Why? Because he deserves it. You take it and go. Understand? When people sometimes stay in families, everywhere, religious, secular, everywhere. I have so much and the person is so ungrateful. Right? So, with what attitude did you give? Did you give it expecting gratitude? Of course. Or else why should you be afraid that he is ungrateful? If you enjoyed giving, listen carefully, if you enjoyed giving, what is the question of your talking is grateful or ungrateful? Did he put away my statue or did not put away my statue? I gave it. After that what? Don't ask. Databhyamiti, just like yashtabhyamiti. This has to be worshipped, therefore I do it. This has to be given, therefore I give it. Can you believe that principle? Remember those days when you take the Gita in the beginning stages, what is that? Action for action's sake. The karya, whatever I am doing, maya kartavyamiti buddhya. Why do you do it? Because it is to be done by me. Yuddhaya yujjasva. Remember that slide when explaining. Yuddhaya, hey Arjuna, fight for fighting's sake. Not for pleasure's sake, for proving something. Life for living's sake. Food for food's sake. Understand? Giving for giving's sake. Loving for love's sake. Sharing for sharing's sake. Why? What else to do? But the moment you have an expectation behind it, there will be disappointment. Why? Understand, friends, giving, if you want to give, that is in your control. Gratitude is not in your control. Because gratitude is other person's emotion or your emotion. Sometimes you can be hit from all sides. When the person shall say, the person who has received, suppose he says, you shall be grateful that I gave you a chance to give it to me. Your world collapses. Today people give that logic because this is the age of manipulation, ingratitude. The person who receives, he thinks you should be grateful to him. Why? Because he gave you a chance to give something to him. Your world collapses. Oh my God. Why your world collapses? Because you have built up an empire based on expectations. You built a castle based on your expectations of recognition, gratitude, pratyupakara, that one day he must help me out. Now goes, chalo. It doesn't matter. That is why in a beautiful tradition of Vidyadana, giving this knowledge, ultimate is sannyas. And the sannyas day what happens? The Guru can share the knowledge, but Guru cannot demand gratitude and devotion. So, ritualistically you free the fellow. Free. You want to be grateful, choice is yours. The student wants to be grateful, choice is his. But a Guru should not have any expectation. I have done my job. I enjoyed giving this knowledge. If the person enjoyed receiving it, you don't have to ask him to be grateful. The person will have it in his head. But if you demand, did I not teach you? Should the teacher say, I am the teacher, or the Guru? Student should say, you are the teacher. Are you getting that point, please? So, from wherever you have learned, but please understand, whether it's a word you are giving, a morsel of food you are offering, a bit of gold you are giving, a little bit of time you are giving, give because you can give. Recognition, gratitude is other person's responsibility, not yours. One who does it, datavyamiti. We shall see tomorrow, sattvika. Or another person, diyate. Pratyupakarartham kale pratyupakarishati. In time, fellow, you want to help me out. You are not helping, you are investing. And in investment, there can be always a failure also. Sometimes profit, sometimes loss. When you do things for its own sake, you never lose. Always happy with yourself. Oh, somebody fellow cheated and got away. How much can he take away? He can take away few rupees. He can take away few bananas. He can take away few something. Can he take away your power? Your understanding? Your wisdom? In the first place, how did you make it? Because of your wisdom. You are still left with your wisdom? No, you can make more. But if you have limited things, then you get upset. Why? Gone, what shall I do with it? What are you worried about? Understand? What are you worried about? How did it come in the first place? It came. That is how it will come. Don't worry. Knowledge. Absolute confidence in God Himself. Okay? That is how creation survives. If people don't dismiss God or truth or something, does the God get angry or the creation gets angry? No, sir. Please appreciate this much. Being with yourself is your choice. There is no choice. It is yourself. Expressing that wisdom, giving, sharing, helping, respecting is yours. Recognition, gratitude, love, affection, it's the other person's responsibility. That in his court. You can't expect that. You can only expect what you have. So, do it because it can be done, finished. All principles are like that. Okay? So in the world, even if you don't believe in God, doesn't matter. Live with this principle. And when you do that, your mind will be so beautiful and you will be already enjoying a state of mind to be with yourself. Please. But suppose a person doesn't believe in anything, but is a nice person. Sometimes you will be disturbed, however sattvic you are, you will be disturbed because it is not based on wisdom. That is why better to have the wisdom. We shall see more of it tomorrow. Close your eyes.